Welfare has a special political meaning to the United States because it refers to how the poor receives financial aid. In comparison, welfare services are regarded as a universal right in other regions like Europe, where it is believed that all citizens should be able to obtain a minimal level of social support and well-being.
The grid-based infrastructure enables large-scale scientific applications to be run on distributed resources. However, in practice, grid resources are not very easy to use for the end users who have to learn how to generate security credentials. There is an imminent need to provide transparent access to these resources so that the end users are shielded from the complicated details.
Every culture is riddled with unwritten rules, such as ones on punctuality. They are the invisible scaffold that frames the behavior of individuals so that the collective can function in a frictionless and productive way. But the rigor of these rules and the exactitude with which they are enforced varies dramatically. Some nations tolerate singing in an elevator, swearing during an interview, or entering a bank barefoot, for example, while others frown upon such behaviors. By beginning so early, he knows that he has plenty of time to do thoroughly all the work he can be expected to do. All his work having been finished in good time, he has a long interval of rest in the evening before the timely hour when he goes to bed. After a sound night's rest, he rises early next morning in good health and spirits for the labors of a new day.
The curriculum enhances the general management program with health-related courses, Dr. Schumann says. Required courses include healthcare in the 21st century and the economics and strategy of health sector management. Students may also take electives such as medical device commercialization, healthcare marketing, and the economics and management of the pharmaceutical industry. In multilingual countries, code mixing, the use of more than one variety in the same utterance or sentence, and code switching, the use of different languages or varieties between sentences, is common and natural. Despite its frequency, or perhaps because of it, some scholars and self-appointed guardians of linguistic morality view both code mixing and code switching as a sign of linguistic deficiency.
The Atlantic coast of the peninsula can be thought of as the cold side, and the sea on this coast tends to be clear and cold, with a variety of seaweeds growing along the rocky shoreline. On a hot day, however, this cold water can be very refreshing and is said to be less hospitable to sharks, which prefer warmer waters. They have enough works to keep them going. They have enough works to keep them going.
Animals grow larger and stronger to hunt better. Animals grow larger and stronger to hunt better.
We need to make sure the school principal knows about the changes. We need to make sure the school principal knows about the changes.
You can only choose one subject from biology or media. You can only choose one subject from biology or media.
He is almost never in his office. He is almost never in his office.
Today, we will be discussing the role of the government in preventing injustice. Today, we will be discussing the role of the government in preventing injustice.
Please make sure all works follow the department guidelines. Please make sure all works follow the department guidelines.
The team member often practices on weekdays and play games on weekends. The team member often practices on weekdays and play games on weekends.
The hypothesis needs to be tested in a more rigorous way. The hypothesis needs to be tested in a more rigorous way.
I don't understand what the comment of my essay means at all. I don't understand what the comment of my essay means at all.
Many undergraduate students go back home and stay with their parents after graduation. Many undergraduate students go back home and stay with their parents after graduation.
The given pyramid shows government expenditure in the field of education. There are 4 types of sectors: higher education, vocational educational training, VET, schools and early childhood. The highest amount of expenditure in schools, which has $3.4 billion, whereas the lowest amount of expenditure in early childhood, which has nearly $1 billion. There has been the same investment on both for higher education and for VET. Overall, I would like to say that the total investment has approximately $11 billion in the field of education.
The given bar graph represents the population of major European countries in the year of 1997 and 2001. The horizontal axis denotes countries such as Germany, Spain, France and many more, whereas, The vertical axis shows the population in millions. Both in 1996 and 2007, the highest number of population in Germany, which was about 82 million. Overall, I would like to say that the least population was for Poland, around 38 million. These diagrams illustrate the process of making cement first, followed by a visual explanation of concrete's production. First of all, limestone and clay are the materials used in cement production. These need to be crushed, and once a powder is obtained and mixed, it goes into a rotating heater. Subsequently to this, the heated powder is smashed thanks to a grinder and cement is obtained. This is usually conserved in bags. Finally, concrete production can start. However, the process requires 4 materials instead of the 2 used in cement production. The suggested proportions are a half of gravel, a quarter of sand, and the last quarter divided between 15% of cement and 10% of water. These have to be poured in a rotating concrete mixer. The given bar graph shows the trends in the number of international graduates from Canadian universities, focuses on the 2001 to 2006 period. The changes in the share of international students among university graduates have been very uneven across the provinces. In 2001, this share had a relatively narrow range, from 3.2% in Ontario to 7.0% in New Brunswick. In 2006, the highest international graduates from New Brunswick and the lowest international graduates from Alberta. To conclude, the share of international students was highest in New Brunswick in both periods.
The given pyramid gives information about food in detail. There are 3 different parts: top, middle, and bottom. The topmost part contains junk food, sweets and sugary drinks. The middle part contains left and right sides. On the left side of it, there is a milk, cheese, eggs, breads and cereals. On right side of it, there is a meat, poultry, sausage, fish, fruits and vegetable. Overall, the bottom part of diagram contains water.
This pie chart shows the distribution of web browser users around the world. Firstly, Internet Explorer is the most popular web browser at 34.2%, followed by Firefox, which is at 23.6%. The third most popular web browser is Chrome, which takes up 20.6% of world users. Safari and Opera have 11.2% and 5% of the users respectively. Overall, Android has the smallest number percentage at 1.9, another 3.5% goes to other, non-specified browser. The given bar graph gives information about the destinations of holidaymakers from Indonesia to various countries such as Australia, Sumland, Korea, Japan and so on. It is clearly visible that the highest number of tourists from Indonesia visited Sumland, which are around 10 lakhs tourists. The least visited tourist destination place amongst all is Pakistan, where just around 3 lakhs people visited there. Overall, Australia is the most favorite destination place amongst visitors. I'm just going to take on the stuff where left off. The whole I want to now talk about it's called melatonin. And the synthesis is in the pineal gland, which is very small. It is the size of a pea in your brain. The corpus is the site of the soul, and it is where melatonin is made. And it has a rhythm as well. And in this sense, it is the opposite of the callosum. It peaks at night. We call it as the darkness hormone. In every species that we studied, melatonin occurs at night. And it's a hormone that prepares you for the things that your species does at night. So, of course, in humans, we sleep, but animals, like rodents, They are awake. It's a hormone that is related to darkness behavior. The speaker was discussing melatonin, which is synthesized in the pineal gland. Firstly, she talked about rhythm, and melatonin is the opposite of the callosum. Furthermore, she mentioned that melatonin occurs at night, so we call it the darkness hormones. Overall, I would like to opine that these hormones are related to dark behavior. So what do we mean by well-being? Health, happiness, a sense of achievement and contentment, a state of mind and body where people can thrive. Well-being is not something that is purely limited to people who are facing extraordinary challenges in their lifestyle, health, or personal circumstances. Everybody here has a level of well-being. Music so often forms an intuitive part of our well-being management, music to pick us up, music to calm us down, and music to heal our sorrows. Our aim through research is to move from this level of intuitive application of music through to informed use in our communities to take the next step in the understanding of the power of music in human life. Music already works for us on so many levels, whether it's soothing and teaching our infants, bringing people and communities together, adding spirit to our work and personal endeavors, but there is no reason to stop here. This lecture is about well-being, which includes health, happiness, a sense of achievement and contentment, a state of mind and body where people can thrive. Well-being is not limited to people who are facing extraordinary challenges in their lifestyle, health, or personal circumstances. Also, music plays a vital role in our well-being. Music already works for us on so many levels. Overall, I would like to opine that music brings people and communities together, adding spirit to our work and personal endeavors.
We can ask two fundamental questions about animal behavior, they referred to as proximate and ultimate. Proximate questions are those concerned with the mechanisms that bring about behavior. Ultimate questions are those concerned with the evolution of behavior. We can divide the proximate and ultimate questions into two sub-questions. For proximate, how does the behavior develop, and secondly, what causes the behavior? For ultimate, you can ask how did the behavior evolve, and secondly, what is the adaptive significance of the behavior, what's its purpose? Together these comprise what are called Tinbergen's four questions about animal behavior. Nika Tinbergen was one of the founding fathers of the study of animal behavior. These questions represent the different ways of studying animal behavior, and understanding the difference between those four questions is fundamental to understanding behavior and indeed the whole of biology. How do we study animal behavior? Well, that depends on the type of question we're hoping to answer. The speaker was asking two fundamental questions about animal behavior, they referred to as proximate and ultimate. Firstly, proximate questions are those concerned with the mechanisms that bring about behavior, while ultimate questions are those concerned with the evolution of behavior. For proximate, how does the behavior develop, and secondly, what causes the behavior, whereas, for ultimate, you can ask how did the behavior evolve, and secondly, what is the adaptive significance of the behavior. Overall, these comprise what are called Tinbergen's 4 questions about animal behavior. What will snow become after it's melt? What will snow become after it's melt?
Which kind of people use periodic table to study? Which kind of people use periodic table to study? What kind of transportation runs on the railway? What kind of transportation runs on the railway?
What institution helps people save money? What institution helps people save money?
What material is used both on window and light bulb? What material is used both on window and light bulb?
Which shape in mathematics has the concept of perimeter and diameter? which shape in mathematics has the concept of perimeter and diameter.
Which continent do China, India, Korea and Japan locate? Which continent do China, India, Korea and Japan locate?
What is the cracking or breaking of a hard object or material? What is the cracking or breaking of a hard object or material?
What do people hold overhead when it's raining? What do people hold overhead when it's raining?
Where is the natural habitat of animals classified as aquatic, in the land, in the sea or the sky? Where is the natural habitat of animals classified as aquatic, in the land, in the sea or the sky?
What is the line in the middle of the candle? What is the line in the middle of the candle? How many times does a biannual magazine published in 1 year? How many times does a biannual magazine published in 1 year?